Hi, Libra. This is Alexander Creek, an astrologer and intuitive. Welcome to your September 2022 horoscope. Um, let's go ahead and dive in. So, I just wanted to make a quick note. If you have access to your birth information and you have your birth time and location, I strongly urge you to watch your horoscope for your rising sign, as it's going to be a lot more applicable to your life and a lot more accurate. The sun sign can still be helpful, but the rising sign, in my opinion, is where it's at. So, if you're watching this for Libra Sun, go watch for your rising sign as well. So, Libra, this is I think, a calmer month than we've had in a while. This feels like a month of kind of like letting the dust settle and like reintegrating things after a really crazy August. So, the month starts out. So we have a Mercury retrograde this month, and we also have Venus, the planet of love and beauty and harmony, going into your hidden 12th house. So let's start with that. So on September 5th, Venus, the planet of love, harmony, beauty, money, aesthetics, she is going to go into Virgo on September 5th, and it's going to be in Virgo until September 29th. So Venus, so Virgo in your chart happens to be in your 12th whole sign house. So Venus spending time in this part of your chart, you may benefit from just having a little bit more alone time and a little bit more rest time. Venus is like things that bring pleasure or harmony and like beauty. And there's just going to be more beauty in these quiet moments of rest and retreat, of being a little isolated, of going for a walk in nature, of meditation, and doing things where you're kind of like a little bit away from all the busyness of life. So this can bring, if you're doing meditation or yoga or walks in nature, this is also good for psychic development and like your intuition and dreams and all this kind of stuff. Venus going through this part of your chart can just bring more beauty and harmony and opportunities as far as those things go. And also, it can also be, and also if let's say that you're starting a relationship around this time, it's likely to be maybe hidden from public view, or it's not likely to be out in the open. It's something that's going to be hidden or secret. So it could be also that as well. The next thing we have is a full moon in Pisces. That is going to be on September 10th. Mercury, the planet of communication, will be stationing retrograde the same day. Let's talk about the full moon first. The full moon always brings a sense of culmination or completion, a sense of fruition, elimination, awareness, or news in some part in your life, like in some area in your life, depending on where it falls in your chart. So this full moon is actually going to be falling in your 6th house. So there can be completion or a sense of fruition, or things coming to a close, or a lot of activity in your work life. So either in your work life, it could be a coworker that's leaving, or an employee that's leaving, or some sort of change in your work. Or it could be also something coming up with health. So it could be that you've achieved a health goal, or something comes up with health. This is bodily health. This could be that you've accomplished something in like an exercise routine or a health routine, or it's starting to start something new in one of those areas. But the topics are likely to be health and work. This full moon is interesting because it is in Pisces. So it is more likely the energy around this full moon is more connected to intuition and imagination and sensitivity, to creativity. This full moon is also going to be conjunct Neptune. It's not the closest of conjunctions. It's kind of wide, but we can still feel that energy. Neptune is the planet of like dreams and ethereal energy. Ethereal energy, dreams, intuition over logic, magic over realism. And so there may be something just kind of cloudy or confusing, maybe relating to work life or to your health around this time. Like if something pops up with health, it may be that you're not sure exactly what it is, or if something pops up with work, it's like you're still like the details may be a little bit fuzzy around this time. The full moon is going to be square Mars, maybe prompting some sort of action or having to assert yourself in some way around this full moon. The other thing with this full moon is that it's going to be making a really nice sextile, which is like a harmonious flowing aspect to Uranus, planet of disruption and sudden change and rebellion. So it could be that this thing that's coming up in health and work it's prompting some kind of unexpected change, or like some kind of feeling of like, you know what, I'm going to do things this way in my work life that I really haven't tried before, but gosh darn, I'm going to do it. Or I'm going to try this sort of nutrition, or I'm going to try this kind of exercise, something that's kind of out of the box. There's an out of the box kind of thinking around this full moon. But again, the topics will be around health or work, and also pets can kind of come into play as well with this energy. So that is on September 10th. So again, on September 10th, we have Mercury, the planet of communication, stationing retrograde in your sign, stationing retrograde in Libra. So I'm gonna mention too the mishaps or delays in communication, in travel plans, or in like technology. Those are really all more likely to happen or be very noticeable on the September 10th, on September 11th, on October 2nd, and October 1st. Those are the days when Mercury will be stationing direct or retrograde. So when Mercury stations, it looks like it is just hanging out in the sky, like not doing anything from our vantage point. So when Mercury stops moving from our vantage point, that is when the things that Mercury rules are just a lot more likely to have some kind of disruptive, delay kind of energy. So with Mercury retrograde brings a sense of reviewing, reassessing, and just kind of like reflecting on some area in our life. For you, it's going to be about you personally. Like Mercury going retrograde in your sign, it's about your approach to life, your attitude, your personal appearance, your approach to relationships, and just kind of like the ways in which you go about living your life. So this could be a time of, and because it's in Libra, it could be about relationships, about like what's fair and equitable in your relationships or in anything with beauty or aesthetics. So you're really gonna be looking at like reviewing things in your personal life and also in your relationships from September 10th to September 23rd. After September 23rd, Mercury is going to backtrack further into your chart, and it's going to go into Virgo, which means that Mercury is going to do its reviewing, reflecting, reassessing thing in your hidden 12th house. So this is sort of like looking maybe at our thoughts or our mental health or our spiritual wellness, and looking at things that might be usually hidden from us. Like it could be saying like, why do we think like that? That's really disruptive. Why are we calling, or like, that's really not helpful. Why do we call ourselves a piece of shit? We don't do something right. Or those kinds of things, because 12th house is about spiritual health, mental health, rest, retreat, and isolation. So you're going to be reviewing and reassessing those kinds of topics. So, but otherwise, it's a pretty quiet Mercury retrograde for you. Once it gets into Virgo, on September 25th, there is a new moon in your sign. So we have a new opportunity, a new cycle, a new beginning. It's all about you with this new moon. So again, this is going to be about a new beginning as far as your identity. It could be that you're going to be dressing differently or approaching life differently. And it's also just going to open, I think, new kind of personal opportunities to you. It's going to feel like your time for new beginnings personally. It could also be about relationships as well, because the 7th house of partnership and relationship is opposite to the 1st house, which is where this new moon is for you. This new moon is also opposing Jupiter, the planet of expansion, benevolence, faith, which is in your 7th house, through from about May 2022 to around Halloween is when it will be in your 7th house, kind of expanding relationships for you, bringing partnership opportunities, whether that is romantic or business or personal or what. It just kind of depends. It depends on you and your chart and your life. But that new moon in Libra could, it could also bring some sort of new beginning with partnership or with relationships of all kinds in general. So it's about new beginnings with you, and it's also about you working with other people and having the opportunity to expand your relationships as well. So it could definitely be something romantic if that's kind of where if that's where your mind is going. But anything in one-on-one relationships is expanded with this new moon for you. So that's what I have for you this month. That's pretty quiet compared to crazy August. And I think the energy will pick up next month once we start having eclipses again. So fun. If you enjoyed listening to this, if you found it helpful, please leave me a 5-star review. If you listen to the audio on the podcast, it always helps people find me. If you're watching this on YouTube, please comment, maybe with what's happening for you this September, kind of what you're hoping for, or maybe what happened for you in August, and maybe how that related to your horoscope. And then, yeah, that's it. So I do have a sale on clairvoyant readings right now. So if you're wanting to kind of get some insight from your spirit guides, and if you've never had a psychic reading before, I also do those as well. So doing a sale on those all month. You can find the link for that in the comments. And then, of course, if you want to book an astrology reading and kind of learn about your birth chart, or really find or have a detailed forecast of what's coming up for the next 12 months, you can book that on my website at dogstaroracle.com. And again, the website URL is going to be in the comments on YouTube or in the notes on this podcast. So thank you again for connecting with me, and I hope you have a wonderful September.